ready to receive your desires. Going live today. Hopefully everybody's good. Doing good here. So I just gonna start doing a little live more often now. Haven't been doing live in a little while. So how's everybody doing today? I wish there was a way I could like get everybody to know when I'm gonna go live. I know I could do the community posts, but I want to find a streamlined way where I want to organize it where I can go live at least maybe twice a month to just get things going. Hey, 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 hey. Blessings to you guys. Blessings to you. Hello, everybody. Greetings, my friends. Greetings, deliberate creators. Greetings, the chosen ones. Greetings to all the manifestors in there. Hello, hello. Karen. I see Karen. I see everybody up here. Tina, Courtney, Kay, Derek. What's up, everybody? How's everybody doing? Good, good, good. So, guys, I started a new podcast channel, so I want to, guys, go check it out. It's called Quantum Chosen Ones. So my other channel I wasn't doing anything with it, so I went ahead and made it into a podcast, so you get some really insightful and deep stuff in there. Bro, show me what you're driving. It's a E63 AMG. Classic one, man. Black Series. You know, I love my cars. Hey, from flooded. Yeah, I see New Jersey's flooded. I seen that, man. Sunny is a good co-host. She's sharp. Yes, yes, Sunny is real good. We make a good team. Sunny reached out to me. That's the thing about manifesting stuff. Like when you're looking for stuff, that's why I always say you don't have to go searching. It'll find you. Because I was looking to do a podcast. Because I've been getting a lot of, hey, Mark, you got to do a podcast. You got to do a podcast, man. So I said, all right. So I just put it out. I said, hey, bring me someone that's going to do the podcasting. And I just let it go and I just chilled, And boom, I've got the podcast going. So, hi, Soul Hunter from India. Hey, good. I'm glad to see this reaching everyone here. Texas in the house. That's good. Everybody's in the house today. Yeah, the podcast is great, man. The thing about the podcast, guys, I think you have it on Anchor. You can go there, and then you can leave voicemail messages, for questions, and then we do them on the air, so to get your manifestations, questions, and whatever you want to find out, you can get that. What's the next coin and what crypto? That's right. Reflection. Why do I have $2 million? You got $2 million. Remember that. Always remember, why do I have it? You'll have it. The universe is yours. Don't you forget it. And don't let anybody ever tell you you cannot do it. A matter of fact, I don't even tell people my dreams or my goals unless they're in my inner circle or people that I know that are on the same path as me. And my inner circle is pretty small, so there's probably anybody I don't tell. Just mainly you guys that been following me, and I have to say something about, again, the audience that I have on this channel, like all of you guys. I mean, this is what you call like a soul tribe, because you guys all are. You guys resonate. You find my stuff, and I always say when my content is out there, and if you find it, it's because it was meant to find it. And that's why we have so much good positivity with this group of everybody that follows all my channels and my teachings and everything. It is so good to see that, because you follow me since 2017, and then the good thing about it, then as you follow, you can see the evolution too. You can see the growth that I took, and then it inspires you, right? Because then you see, whoa, this guy is actually practicing what he's teaching. So that rubs off on you guys, and you see the evolvement of how the mind is. And I'm sure it changed a lot of you guys' lives, because I get so much email, tons of email about how it affects your life. And that's why I have to keep doing this, because I have to do it because of you, the ones who need this inspiration, the ones who desire this. You know, I know how much my videos are important to you guys. You watch them, it keeps you inspired. It makes, so that's why I have to do this, and it's my purpose to do it. So, you know, and it's good because within the community, right, there's the comments and everything, so much positive stuff, you know. You don't have these trolls or these haters, you know, because everybody here is just doing what they want. And I love the way the algorithm works now for YouTube, because YouTube is only giving you what you're looking for. So it's not going to just throw some random content in you. So that's why when you find this stuff, it's going to be good, right? So try for sure. That's right, Susan. Peace, peace, everybody. So topic is, are you ready for your desires, right? I fall asleep every time. Yes, those affirmation videos. That's why I do those affirmation videos. I try to do a mix stuff on the channel, and I start doing those. You guys see those TikTok shorts now? Those are a great way to just get more stuff. You know, I wish I could just get up and make long videos every day, but I just can't do that. So the way for me to get content out for you guys, to get more knowledge and to get your stuff up, the TikTok is a great platform, because I can do something like a minute, and then I can put it out to you guys just to get you going, and then I'll create the other longer content. So I'm making longer videos. You know, the one videos I do, I try to make them longer, and I'm going to start doing more lives. And that's why I do the podcast, because it's all to get the information out to you so that you can use it to change your life. And when you change your life, it's going to reflect back on everybody. So are you guys ready? You ready? Everybody says I'm ready to get my manifestations. Yes, 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 yes. So I want you to remember this, right? That the short videos are, the short videos are quick. Sometimes I know they cut off so quick because you know, when you're doing a short video, you know, 58 seconds or under a minute, you really gotta get the point, and that's what I'm so good at, because it's that gift from the universe. I can just get the point in under a minute, so it works for me. Good. Sometimes I may go over a little minute, that's why I may cut off, but it's all good, because it's you guys that are using it and doing stuff. Look, I want to say this to you, okay? That a lot of you guys follow me, and for a lot of reasons. A lot of the lottery is a big thing too. I know the lottery got it in, but looks, when you win, and you are going to win, you have to give back. You don't win millions of dollars, don't win hundreds of thousands of dollars, and don't give back. Don't do that. You got to circulate and get the vibe going. All right, give back. If you want to give back to charity, you want to give back to something, you want to give back, you got to give back. You got to put it and say, hey man, use this. Don't win all that money and just hoard it and keep it to yourself, because remember, we don't own any of that stuff. Money is made to circulate. The more you give, the more you're going to get. When you get money, give money. You get knowledge, give knowledge. Help others. That's something I had to say, because I know a lot of individuals in the past, 2017, 18, 19, 20, 21 now, right? Going in my 5th year. A lot of people have won a lot of money in the lottery. And I want you guys to know that when you do win, because if you follow these teachings and the way things work, you are going to win. And you do win, just remember to give back, all right? So that's good. Now, are you ready to receive your manifestation? So check this out. Give you some more stuff so you can ponder over. That's good. Yeah, you can send you win some, send some back to me, because what I do with it, I take those donations and I recirculate them and make content. So see, it goes right back to you guys. So that's what I want to mention too, because I was speaking to a good friend, and he said, Mark, man, he says, you know, a lot of your followers, you know, they win, but why don't you mention more in your videos and tell them to give back? And I said, hey, that's a good point. You know, I usually just assume, but you just got to say it so people can get it, because it's really a concept, and it goes into, you know, that's right, you're the next jackpot winner, Carol. Guys, look, this is the thing, we live in, you know, a flow state universe. A flow state universe. That's the next evolution you want to attain. See, now you guys, we are learning. I'm teaching you guys, right? about, to build beliefs, the subconscious. Now we're going to take it to the next level. Now we're going to go into the state of knowing. See, we have a belief and we have knowing. When you enter that realm of knowing, it's game over, man. So let me show you how it works. When you have to pass belief to get to knowing. So it works this way. You got to develop the faith. The faith creates the belief, and then the few make it to knowing. The power of knowing is when you know, you no longer believe you're going to get what you want. You know you're going to get what you want. How many people can say that? Not a lot. But that's an actual state of consciousness. That's an actual state of, that's what I call it, a higher level of consciousness. When you know, and you know. So belief always starts out in the conscious mind, and then it goes to your subconscious. So we all need belief. Don't get me wrong. A belief is just trigger. But I'm speaking about something big here. I'm speaking about know. When you know, you just know. And think about this. When you get a state of knowing, who can doubt you? Who can stop you? Where is the resistance? Where is the doubt? It doesn't exist when you know. See what I'm showing you here? I'm showing you something deep here now. I want you to think about this. You want to get to a state of knowing. Like you want to go to bed and you know, I'm getting that. That's going to manifest. Think about that. When you see, when you enter a state of knowing, you shut off your critic. I call it the lower self, the ego. Did you know that? When you know, your ego can't come. There's no way it can. Because when you know something, there is no irrefutable, or what you want to call it, refutable evidence. Your ego has no ammunition, because it says, damn, I'm powerless. This guy knows, she knows. There's nothing I can do. So how do we attain a state of knowing? And that's why I said, are you ready for your manifestation? So if you want to attain a state of knowing, you cannot get knowing from your regular consciousness stuff, right? We got to get knowing. We have to go high now. We have to go into a higher mind, a higher self. So how do you enter a state of knowing? The first tip to enter a state of knowing, right? You have to get yourself right. Meaning you got to love yourself. Self-love. You gotta have self-love. If you don't have self-love, you're not going to get to the state of knowing. You have to have that mentality that wherever I walk, whatever I do, I am the best. I am confident in myself. When you're in a state of knowing, you don't compete with nobody. You compete. If you're going to compete, you just compete with the best version of you every single moment. And then when you want to get into a state of knowing again, you don't use time. And somebody has some really bad breaks. If you hear the sound. When you get into a state of knowing, time doesn't exist in there. Okay? You don't. If you're going to compete with anything, it's yourself. When I mean compete with yourself, it's just to understand that your capabilities and from one moment to the moment. So that will take you into the state of knowing. That's right. Learn your love from being in that moment, in that state of knowing. Okay, Atlanta, good. We got so many good stuff. Good people in here. Be better than I was. That's right. Yep. You've been getting messages for love for weeks. So that's something powerful. And I think that's not taught a lot. We always talk about our beliefs, but how many people here talk about knowing? Like what is how do you know? Like how do you know you're gonna get that job? How do you know you're gonna find that partner? How do you know you're gonna win that jackpot? How do you know you're gonna get that health? How do you know you're gonna be happy? How do you know your business is gonna start? Your investment. How do you know that that role you want to play, that song you wrote, that artist you want to be? A lot of people don't know that. See that? But imagine if you knew that you are going to become who you want to become. I mean, there's nothing that can literally put you down, man. And few can attain that, but you guys can definitely have. You got all of you guys have the potential to get into the state of knowing, because you've learned throughout the years of how your mind works and the stuff I teach, and so you guys have the best capability to achieve that state than a lot of people out there. You got that. How do I become the best in the world at something? Well, you can become the best in the world at something by, you gotta first of all, you gotta know what you're good at and stick with one thing you're good at. Here's where people mess up. Did you ever hear that saying? What is it? Jack of all trades, but master of none. You ever heard that saying, right? That's what a lot of people do. A lot of people on their way, if they want to achieve success, and I want to talk about success too and all that stuff, so you can really see what's happening. Well, this is all tied with manifestation too. See, when you want to become the best at something, you have to be disciplined, and you have to, if you know you're good at something, you have to stick with it, man. Don't let your ego say, oh, I gotta do that, because at first it may seem like you're failing, but you know what I say about failure, there's no failure, only feedback. So at first your mind will say, this ain't working. But you know, the interesting thing about the mind is that once you keep repeating something, you get really good at it. See that? So if you want to become the best anything, you got to keep repeating it. Let's use athletes, like what is it? You got basketball players, football players. I mean, these guys train for years, man. From their babies, and they're training because they're building a repetition and a habit. And then when you watch them and you see, oh, look how easy it is for them. It looks so easy to you, right? But you don't understand the mechanics, the hand-eye coordination, because they stuck to their trade. So that's what you have to do to become the best at something. Yeah, like Derek here says, I know I'm a famous rapper. Everybody else would know too. That's right, Derek. And that's what I'm talking about. You have to know that. You just can't say, well, I hope I'll be a good rapper, or I hope I'll get what I want. No, man, you got to know that, man. And you know why knowing is the thing? Because here's the next big secret about when you know something. Did you know that when you know something, you actually create it in real time? There is no manifestation when it comes to knowing. Manifestation happens when we believe stuff, because it takes a process to create. When you know something, it instantly, boom, it instantly appears. Now, I want you to understand what I mean by instantly appears now. Instantly appears, I'm not saying that when you know it, it's going to pop like tomorrow. That's what I'm talking about. Instantly appears means that there is no refuting from your ego or resistance anymore. So now it has so much clear space to manifest quickly more, because there's no type of block or resistance. So I'm going to show you, I'm going to give you the biggest tip right now to get into the state of knowing, because I know I'm talking and you guys must be saying, man, like Mark is just, I mean, that state of knowing Mark is talking about, man, that seems like it's kind of tough to get there, man, because I'm barely believing I can get my desire. I'm barely thinking, right? Some of you may be saying that, man, right? So let me show you how you're going to get into the state of knowing. And it's so simple. What you do is, when you get up in the morning, we're going to use our old mirror, or you can use your phone. I'm going to show you this technique, very powerful. When you look in the mirror, just say the following, like this: I know I'm a winner. I know I'm the best at what I do. I know I'm a multi-million-dollar lotto jackpot winner. I know my business is making X and X and X. I know I'm talented and gifted. See that? Those are the magic words, man. You repeat those every morning you're going to notice something amazing. Your mind now, you're going to start to wonder, like, why aren't I like believing or anything? I mean, you're going to start to say, why am I forgetting my manifestation? Why am I not so enthusiastic about my manifestation anymore? Why am I not so into visualizing anymore? Because you already created it. Because now your mind accepts that you know it. You see, when you know something, there's no more need for like the the routine. There's nothing wrong with that. You're not gonna feel as inspired as before, and that's good. That's not bad, because remember, when something manifests, when you're getting something, you're gonna feel like you're losing interest. That means it's about to come into, because that means you have detached now. So when you instantly know something, you're gonna notice that your mind now, you're not gonna be thinking too much on that thing anymore. You're just gonna be like, all right, the next thing, because that's a subconscious. See how powerful that is, right? That's the next level right there. Yeah, you don't need to check for evidence, Caleb. That's right. There's no checking for evidence, because your see, what happens is your mind now accepts that this is already a done deal. And because your mind accepts that now, your ego cannot refute that. Because if you tell your mind, I know this is going to happen, your mind doesn't have this thing now because the mind, the thing about your ego, it senses your energy. It knows when you are the boss, or it knows when you are the servant. So when you say I know, your ego now understands, like, okay, I'm no longer in control here now. This guy is like the king here, man. This guy's telling me he knows. Your ego's like, you need come back to belief so I can get you. But when you say I know, the ego can't just mess you up anymore. All right? Do you mind me asking what's your crypto wallet? I don't have crypto, guys. I don't even know. I heard about crypto, but I'm not into crypto. I'm open for everything, but crypto. Why do I see tons of synchronicity every day over a year and do not see anything in the physical? This is from Daria. Well, the reason why, Daria, is because you're looking. You can't look. Remember what I always say? When you see synchronicities, just know that, all right, it's coming, I'm good. But don't start looking for evidence. If you see, when you look, by that statement, you're telling me you're looking for your physical stuff. Here's how it works. We're going to belief now, so I'm going to step off knowing for a minute, because a lot of us are in beliefs, which is good to manifest. You have to start beliefs to get to know it. When you believe it, that's when you will see it. It's not when you see it, you will believe it. So my advice to all of you guys is, whenever you create anything in your world, manifest in whatever you want to do, lottery, all that stuff, like I did, you have to adopt the mindset that believe in it will show it to you. When you believe it, you will see it. And now here's where I'm talking about seeing it. When you believe it, I'm not talking about evidence. There's a little difference. If you believe something, you will actually witness the manifestation happening quickly. That's what I mean by it. Evidence is a different thing now. When evidence shows up, and the thing with evidence as well, like the synchronicities, that's considered evidence. So I'll give you an example. Let's say you want to visualize a home, or just better business, or your goal, or your talent, or the lottery, and you're just thinking the night before, you say, man, I would love, I see this happening for me, and I want to make this thing happen. And then the next morning, you see a bunch of 7 7s, or 8 8s, or 1 1, or 2 2. That's evidence. See that? People don't understand that. You don't have to see something about the lottery, or your car, or the girl, or the man, or a thing. Those numbers are evidence, because the night before you were thinking about, all of a sudden you see these numbers, and people don't put them together. They just say, oh, that's synchronicity, or the universe. That's also evidence that your thing is going to come true. So that's what evidence is. When it comes to evidence, you never go looking for evidence. It'll find you. Now here's the thing about when you looking versus finding evidence. Okay, people do this a lot, and you don't do this. When you ask the universe for something, or you command the universe for something, what we tend to do is, now we get on what we call people alert. We start like, man, all right, let me see, man, Universe, I'm looking for this, man, to give me some hope, man. Give me some sign that what I want is gonna come true. And you don't see it, right? So the reason you don't see it because the universe is mirroring you, and it says, "Oh, you don't want this," or. But when you want something, you just say, "All right, I'll put it out," and then you let it go, and then it's gonna slap you in your face. I mean, it's gonna come to you in an awkward or in a position that you're not even looking for. You're gonna know, like, "Oh man, dang, that was what I was thinking about," and look, it just came at me. How to balance staying informed, not poisoning the minds of something. What is this? I got so much questions. We are so powerful with God in us. We are part of God, guys. God is you. I tell everyone, we are the universe experiencing ourselves. Someone asked me a question on that on a TikTok, and because I mentioned it, I made a little TikTok short about the you know, someone asked me, do I believe in an intelligent creator or God? That's another short. I'm going to post that short maybe sometime, but you guys get. So say, man, do you believe in an intelligent creator or a God or something like that? And my answer was, you know, what is your definition of intelligence? I mean, we made up the word intelligent. Intelligent could be something that we are not even able to comprehend. But to make sense, I say, all right, so you mean something that makes sense to human beings? And I say, all right, so here's how it works. So the universe is like a living being, just like anything else. And what happens is it's a living being constantly learning, evolving, and experiencing itself through you and I. So God is you and I. You got to remember something important. Religion invented the word God. But you know what I mean, to make context of this, that inner powerful being. Religion created a complex and created a mold of a hierarchy for you guys within your head to distract you from your true potential. Now, I mean, religion serves a purpose. You know, for some people, it helps them and it motivates them, and that's fine. But the thing about the aspect about religion is the side effects of that. It really strips you of your self-confidence and knowing your inner self. It puts you in a point of someone that is not worthy without you, and teaches you to rely on outside sources instead of relying on inside you. You know, I always say there's a difference between spirituality and religion. Religion is something that you create and you observe. Spirituality is something that you feel and you know. That's the truth. That's who you truly are. Until you can grasp that, uh, you won't see the big picture. Got us to grasp that, to see the big picture, you have to be able to grasp that concept that there's no God like a person that looks down and judges nobody. There's none of that doesn't exist. That was all made up, man. All of that was made up. I made tons of videos about that stuff, about what hell is, made up. Heaven, made up. All of that, human constructs created. This is what is happening now. This is who you are. Um, you are part of that higher power, God working through you, because the same particles, those quantum particles that power everything, is also powering you. It's powering the air. It's powering. So that means you are part of that very fundamental force. Got it? What is your TikTok name? It's I am Mark Haughton 8888. Just search I'm Mark Haughton on TikTok. Um so divine speaks to you in parables. That's correct, guys. Who are you now that you have your desires? How does it feel? That's a good question there. This is from, what's this? Stash Pot. So the thing is, when you get your desires, then what happens is you develop another level of empathy. Now when you have your desires, you want to help people now. You want to give back. You want to give back with knowledge, with stuff, because you want people to experience the same thing, because you experience it and you can do it. Why not teach somebody else to do it? It makes, when you can help people, as human beings, we have an innate ability to want to give back, to be of service. You can see it with your family, with your friends. You want your kids to have the best stuff. You want your significant others. It's just a human nature of us to give back or want to help. And when you have all your desires and you want to do that, then you really reach the level of highly conscious dimensional being. That's when you know you're there. Now, keep in mind, there are some people that they have all their desires, but they still don't want to give it away. They want to hold on to it. They feel like if I teach or if I give this secret, I'll lose. And those individuals are more controlled by the lower self, the ego. So when someone can achieve their goals and their dreams, and they can give it away and say, hey, this is how you do it, da 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 da, then that's a different level of higher awareness. Now, you gotta understand, yeah, you can give all the information, you can help a lot of people, but now if someone wants to come to you for your time, then that's different. Your time now is gonna be, you're gonna charge for your time, because you're teaching. A lot of your stuff you give out. So it's a balance there, because just because you're helping people and giving back, you still got to have your boundaries. People will take advantage of you, man, and you can't have people taking advantage. It's human nature to take advantage. If someone can get away with something, and they'll keep doing it until you say no, that's just human nature. Look at the baby. You put your baby, and when you're not looking, your baby's like eating the stuff, and then you look, the baby stops. How did the baby learn that? You didn't teach him that from he come. That's an innate ability in human beings. We like to just do stuff until it's a subconscious thing. That's why when people in relationships, they do it. They'll keep doing something in a relationship, and if you don't say something, they won't stop. But the minute you say, hey, this is my boundaries, they respect you, and they stop. So don't ever think people are thinking like you, like, man, they gotta know I'm doing something good, or they don't know. They're gonna keep going until you say, hey, that's it. Amazing day. Hi, Mark. Hope you're doing amazing. Let's see. If you realize I'm a chosen one, what should you do, and what should you quit? Chosen ones, you got to quit self-comparison. Chosen ones, you don't need to compare yourself with anybody. You are the God within the God. You are part of this universe. You have these immense gifts and abilities. So you're a chosen one. And it means everyone's watching this is a chosen one. Everyone that finds my channel, any spiritual channel that teaches you about ascending and mastering yourself, that's a chosen one. So the fact that you're seeing this right now, you are a chosen one. If you find and watching this stuff, you are one. So for chosen ones, you want to stop to compare yourself with others. That's the biggest thing. And the next thing chosen ones do, they have open mind. They're very open-minded. What else? Chosen ones quit gossiping. They don't entertain small BS. Chosen ones, what else they do? They focus on themselves. Chosen ones, what else? They are masters of their lower self, of their ego. Chosen ones, what else? They're master of their subconscious. The chosen ones, what else? They start to master their emotions. Now, a lot of chosen ones have empath. So when you learn to master your emotions, that's part of it. Chosen ones quit toxic stuff. Toxic people, toxic food, toxic, whatever toxic, chosen ones quit those type of stuff. What else chosen ones? You know what chosen ones do? Chosen ones don't watch the news. They don't entertain the media. They're not into none of that stuff, because they have a higher self of awareness. They're not focused on this celebrity guy, or this what she's doing, or the latest trend, or as was they don't focus on any of that because the chosen one understands what this is all about. They understand what type of world, what type of reality we live in, and they know that all the stuff that they put out or propagate is to just keep you like zombie like this, okay, and to think for you. That's what it is. Program. The media is called program. Television. Vision. Television. Television. The Matrix will always give you a clue to what it is, man. Far-fetched idea, but if you are God or the universe, what would happen if you use affirmations like, I am an all-knowing and omnipotent being? Well, what will happen is you'll start to get more insight, more knowledge, because now the universe will start flowing through you. See, that's the thing. A lot of people are scared to say a God or something because of the religion thing, man, because of the doubt it put into your head. That's what I'm talking about, how people are programmed. But let's just use, okay, let's say, all right, Mark, you're talking about this thing like this God force, or I'm this God. So what, Mark, what is the evidence of this, man? Okay, and I'll go back to you because I have evidence. So I'll go to religion. I'll ask religion, religion, what is your evidence that there is this God in the sky? Show me some evidence that there's this person or being that lives in the sky and he's doing all these things. Religion cannot show me scientific evidence that there's this like particular being or this one person that's, it doesn't do it. Now I can show you scientific evidence that the universe or the real, what truly is God is a frequency. It is a code of information that is resonating to you. I can show you that through quantum physics, through particles, through how things entangle, through what we're made of, through our ability to use telepathy, to use the mind to think, to bring things in, through your dreams. Those are evidence. See that? Religion can't show you that, man. Hey, Mark. This is Alan, Factor Media Worldwide. Thanks, Mark, for inspiring millions. I love what you do. Just curious, how do you feel and what is your opinion on the extraterrestrial? Yeah. So here is what the information that I've gotten from the universe about this, like extraterrestrials and everything of that information. So what has been shown to me, and this is what I'm saying, when you get into that state of knowing, you're gonna get so much information. So it came to me like this. It says, Mark, there is a code within everything that evolves. Everything evolves. You know, the earth started from dust, the right conditions came, and we had simple base molecules, carbon based molecules, all that stuff became, and we became living beings and everything of that sort. So if it could happen on this planet, and the universe is infinite, and there's multiverses, then it's happening all over. So if you don't believe, and we're in 2021, moving on now, there is intelligent beings. There's other beings out there right now. And this may be where we get this God complex from, because some of these beings may have had influence in our genetic makeup. You know, that's shocking to some people. That's why I say you have to keep an open mind. Because if you think about it, they cannot find a natural link. There's a gap missing in the human evolution that we became Homo sapiens from Homo erectus. They can't find that. Something jumped. You can tell when something is natural or when something is kind of manipulated. And they're finding that some part of our gene is manipulated. And it's higher beings. These higher beings now, they have a different level of awareness than you and I. First of all, they communicate through telepathy. Second of all, they don't adopt the construct we have, like violence and self-comparison. All that is about, that stuff is prehistoric. Think about this. Our earth is what, like 2-3 billion years old? There are other star systems that are millions or billions of years ahead of us. Imagine that, and how we evolve. Imagine there's other beings that evolve. Imagine someone that's a billion years ahead of you in technology. A 100 years, 1,000 years. Imagine a being that's millions of years ahead of you. You and I, we can't even imagine that. That's unimaginable. See what I'm saying? That's something for you to think about, man. So there are highly intelligent beings. Now the question is, well, Mark, if there are these UFOs and all these things, so why don't they visit us? Why don't they like come down? And I always use the analogy, like if you're creating something, or you, let's say you have a little, like you have a nice like farm in your home, and you make a little ants farm or something in ants, and you leave the ants. Do you always go down and messing with your ants? You just walk away and you just check on your ants and leave. That could be the same thing here. Maybe there's a thing called a zoo hypothesis. I don't know if you heard of this, but there's an actual hypothesis in physics now, they're saying that um, we were actually created through higher intelligent beings, and what they do is they come down to check on their creation. Like animals, we're like animals to them. Like the zoo, they come and peep in and they leave. That's why you don't see these. That's why they don't pop up like, "Hey guys, I'm here," because there's nothing to offer. They made you. They had a part in making you. This is something you gotta entertain seriously now, because we now understand that there are billions of Earth-like planets, and if evolution happened here, it happened there. You can just by the math alone will tell you that, guys. That's what I mean about open mind. I'm not familiar with gangs. What is it? Gang stalking? What is that? Can someone enlighten me? Do you think it's real? How does this information come to you? The information comes to me through meditation, just, relaxing. It just pops in and it just clicks. Yep, even crazier than science fiction movies. You're right. They have a saying too. They're right. They say, the truth is actually stranger than the fiction now. We're starting to realize that. Let me show you something. There are life forms that we discovered that does not use oxygen. We are aerobic beings. We use oxygen, anaerobic without oxygen. There are life forms, bacteria, that live without breathing oxygen, guys. We are carbon. That means we're made from these different molecules. There could be other life forms that are different. You see, you have to stop interpreting life the way you and I interpret. Life is something completely different, because we interpret life based on how we see, but we don't know what other life forms is. Life could be right next to you right now. The universe, as I said, is a life form, because everything is experiencing. So this is where, if you open your mind, you're going to get deeper understanding. What prevents people from actually doing this stuff is the lower mind, the ego. The ego just uses a lot of stuff you've been taught and propagated, and it just keeps you in this state of, I mean, a couple hundred years ago, we believed that the center of the universe was our planet, our solar system. Further than that, we didn't think there was other planets. Now look where we're at. How to act as if without an attitude of arrogant entitlement towards life. All right, now to act as if, you got to escape your ego mind. So it's what I call a quiet confidence. This happens when you know yourself, when you have that self-love. It's not going to happen when you put on a front. People can sense when you put on a front, and people can sense when you're like the real deal. So if you want to get into that attitude without the arrogant, start to believe and know that it's yourself. And it's very simple to know that, guys, because you got to remember, you are the universe, experiencing the universe. What else could you want to know? That's the ultimate thing right there. You have every ingredient in you right now to live the life you want to live. You can go get the job, you can get the house, you can win the lottery, you can create anything just like anybody else do. You literally have the same components in you that anybody else in the world have. You can do all that stuff. It's just the issue is trust in yourself, believing in yourself, and realizing your true power. That's the only thing stopping you. But the key for you, the first start for you to understand is that this guy just told me that I have all the ingredients in me to become whatever I want. And that's 100%. See, I'm about to get my dream job tomorrow. Congratulations. See that, guys? How do I figure out my life's purpose? Life purpose? Let's see about the life's purpose. So the best way to figure out your life's purpose is you make sure you sit down, you make sure you relax, you cut off like your phone for an hour, go and stay in the dark, and then go and search in your heart and ask yourself questions like, okay, what am I good at? What do I like to do? You got to get your ego out of this, because when you're trying to figure stuff out, your ego is going to bring in how much money can it make? Can we make a living out of doing this? You got to erase all of that, and you got to really go in and say, all right, what's the thing that I really like to do? Okay? What is the thing I'm good at right now? Or you can do it this way. What if I get paid doing what I love? See, now that make it easier. Now you can say, oh man, I love painting. I love doing it. Now you start to figure out your life's purpose. And remember how your life's purpose works, man. That anytime you figure out your life's purpose, you'll have more wealth and happiness than anything, because you're doing what you came here to do. And never try to figure out, well, man, my life purpose suck. I can't make any money doing that. I can't make a living doing that, man. You don't get it, man. Once you tune into your life purpose, it opens up other avenues. That's what I'm showing you, is your life purpose takes you into a bigger part. That's why people say, when you find your passion, you make more stuff, da da da. I'll give everybody a big tip on your life purpose. Everyone's life purpose has one core component in it. Here's what your life purpose, and this is what you should focus on. Focus your life purpose on being of service to others. All of us are service to others. Think about it. The athletes that play basketball, sports guys, the actors, their service, what they're doing, they provide service to you. You're watching the movie, you're feeling good, you're inspired. Athletes, they're playing the basketball, you're watching the sports, makes you feel good, makes you want to go out and play, inspired. So everyone's a service to others. So that's the first key. Okay, so I have to find something by being of service to others, and that's when your purpose will start to come out. Hey Mark, I've been on your vids and have a question. What is the ego mind for? The ego mind is for you to regulate, to judge, to observe your reality, and to keep you safe. So to keep you safe, it devised all these different characteristics of intelligence so that you can know when to run or when to stay back. And then because it can use logic as part of that, step back, right? So the ego purpose is that. Now, there's something about the ego. Your ego is not bad. So I know it gets a bad rap. It's not the bad ego. The ego is not the bad guy here. The ego is just doing what it's taught to protect you. So look at your ego like, the best analogy for your ego is look at it like a child. And I gave this example before. Let's say you have your son, a young child, right? Or daughter. And he has two friends, like let's say Jimmy or Tommy. And what he does, every time he goes to Jimmy's house and you pick him up from Jimmy's house, he always have this like attitude. But when he goes to Tommy's house, he's always like this good mood person. So would you say that your son is bad or your son is negative? No, what you would say was the environment, the people he surrounded himself with, he rubbed off on it. That's what your ego is. Your ego rubs off on the environment around it. And our environment, unfortunately, is a lot of lack stuff. So that's what the ego is. And the next thing about the ego is it loves to try to predict and change your world. And remember, it's so limited, guys. The thing about the mind, and a lot of the suffering we feel is coming from our ego, because our ego wants validation and says we deserve this or we got to have that. And that's why I stress about you got to be in that flow state where you're not attached to anything. It is what it is. That's my motto. It is what it is, because then you realize that I have no expectation, I have no attachment. I get to enjoy life more. Whatever comes in, comes in. Whatever goes out, goes out. And then you'll notice all the things that are meant for you is going to find you. All the things aren't that meant for you are going to go away. And I'm sure how detailed this type of thinking, this type of mindset is. That the universe actually will show you that, because whenever you notice, we've all experienced this before. You ever had something, you try to do it, and you always get like resistance and block and da da da. And it's like, man, why can't I have that? Why can't I get that? And then maybe a few years down the line, you realize like, damn, I'm glad that happened. See how I saw it? But you ever had that thing where it just flow and just like natural, right? That's what it is. That's how you gotta get that. You gotta get that. How do I accumulate with the high vibe? It seems a bit scary. I've had some experience. I'm afraid to move forward with the high vibe. So the thing is, all right, what you want, guys, what you want to understand too is you don't have to feel high vibe or positivity all day. It's impossible. I said it's impossible for you to feel high or positive all the time. What you want to get into a state of non-resistance. That's if you can get into that state, everything comes to you. So yeah, it's fine to feel high vibe, is good, but you don't have to get it. You just have to be in a state where you're flowing with things. You have to be in a state of it is what it is. Like you have to be in a state that everything just is. See that? Everything just is. Not everything just is because, or why is everything just is. And when you adopt that mindset, your reality now becomes this whole neutral thing, and then you can change it to what benefits you the more, instead of it just pops in as a negative or something, and then it creates the the self-esteem and the doubt, and you're not good enough. But when you see things, you're actually creating your own world, because now you're saying, you're taking everything and making it one neutral thing, and then you start to change that neutral thing into something that benefits you. What is resistance? Somebody asked me resistance. Resistance is, here's the easiest way for resistance is anything that is preventing you from focusing consistently, from desiring, from feeling good towards your goal. That's what resistance is. All resistance usually accumulates in your lower self and ego, and that's energy form. That's what resistance is. Resistance is distraction from your true passion or true goal. What do I think about the parallel universe? Now, isn't this a good one, right? I remember years back, right? Probably many years ago, you used to watch those Star Trek science movies, and you see these parallel universes, and we was like, what a bunch of sci-fi stuff. Now, that's not the tune anymore. There's actually evidence now of parallel worlds. And for you guys to understand this, we no longer inhabit a universe. I know I talk about universe, but it's just a catchy thing that we're used to saying. We live in a multiverse. Think about a multiverse. Different parallel versions. And what's the biggest revolution for this is called string theory. String theory now, the biggest one was Einstein's theory of relativity. Now these physicists, string theory, I think it's 12 to 15 years ago. Now in string theory, their calculations and everything adds up now that we have about 13 dimensions, and there's another part of string theory called M theory where it goes up to 28 dimensions. And within these dimensions now, we find the existence of parallel universe. It doesn't go against physics. So yeah, there are parallel versions, and I believe that there are parallel versions of you and I right now in this point doing this thing. I'm here sitting talking to you in another universe. The difference is I may turn my cap. I don't have a cap. I may have a different color, or the shirt might be a little. It's endless possibilities going on. And the reason now you will never be able to physically contact your parallel self is because these universes, they're in another dimension. You and I, we aren't tuned to interact with those dimensions. So you'll never get there physically, but here's a but, you can get there mentally, or telepathically are the mind, because mind connects all stuff in the universe. There's non-locale, so you can still access your parallel self. And there's a person that did that, what's his name, Burt Goldman. It's quantum jumping. Maybe many of you probably heard of him. It was a guy who was 80 years old and he started living his best life at 80. He learned the piano. He was in the best shape of his life because he quantum jumped into the parallel version of himself. Can you speak on, what is this? Will this live stream be up on the channel? Yeah, the live stream will be up. Like what happens, take a couple hours and they put it up. So that's why I say, are you ready to experience your manifestations, or are you ready to experience your desires? Start to get into that state of the knowing. You're going to start to get more stuff coming in a lot faster, right? What else we got here? It feels like I'm connected to everyone in the chat. Yeah, everyone is connected to everyone and everything else. Everything will just come to you. Yeah, the next thing, guys, is to what that, the thing is, we think that we're separate, right? So we see different people and we see the different stuff, but nothing is really separate. Separation is actually an illusion. Everything is one, because from one electron became multiple electrons, became multiple universes. So just because you see things and you say you're never separate from anything, and if you start to understand that you're one with everything, and then you start to develop a more heightened sense of awareness, then you will start to become a more wise with wisdom. And with wisdom, when you have wisdom, man, someone says, would you want to have money or wisdom? I'd rather have wisdom, because with the wisdom I can make money all the time. When you have wisdom, you can do anything. You just get money. When the money goes out, what are you going to do? So you should always, if you want to get the manifestation of your higher self, ask for wisdom. Say, give me more wisdom, because with wisdom comes ideas. Ideas comes ways for you to make money or whatever you want. Just don't ask for money. So resistance is anger, fear. Yes, anger, fear, doubt, not believing in yourself, that feeling you get, self-esteem stuff, distraction stuff. That's resistance. So whenever you're able to just clearly focus on what you want, you have no reason. And that's why when you enter a state of knowing, none of that can come in, because everything gets shuts off. Fear, anger, pain, all that gets shut off when you know it. Watching from Korea. Awesome. Korea in the house. So the state of knowing is very powerful. Fasting is good. Do you use scripting or best technique for scripting? I personally don't do scripting, but I know it works. What I like to do is I like to take my phone and I vlog myself. Like years ago I used to do this. I would just take my phone, and instead of like when you script, I would just look in my camera, record myself saying those things in the present moment. I find that so much more powerful, because then I can pick it up and I could watch it. And when I watch myself seeing the things I did or saying, and then, because I do this all the time. Sometimes I go back in my phone and I look years ago and I was like, the stuff I said, I manifested. And I was like, wow, man, look at this. I did this. How powerful that is. So it's like a precognition. I find that to be very powerful, because, like you have all of your senses in your mind watching, especially your subconscious. It's like, whoa, this guy just manifests this stuff so quick. It's just, your subconscious is like in it. He's like, okay, this is true. Because I'm on the video, I'm watching myself, because my subconscious is illogical. So I find that so much more powerful than scripting. That's just me. But if scripting works for you, do it. It's whatever resonates with you. Yeah, talking to yourself on the video. It can change the neural programs in your mind, and it's powerful, man. It's powerful. It's very powerful. It just shows you that we are our thoughts, and what we say, and our minds will work. The thing about your subconscious, guys, is that it never actually sleeps. when you want a problem solved and you put it to your subconscious and you do it in a non-resistance way, like for example, you don't go and say, hey man, I need this fix, man. I need you to find a way. You do it like, hey, this is what's happening, and I want you, or I need you to fix it, and then you let it go. When you let it go, your mind works a lot faster to solve it for you. But if you're holding on to it, you're actually like stopping the process of your mind from fixing or doing stuff. Your mind is like, bro, I'm trying to help you, man, but you keep coming in the way, man. Go sit down. That's what it's saying to you. It's like, can I do my job? You gave me the assignment. Let me do the job. And that comes in our ego. Our ego does that. Our ego is like trying to control stuff. If you want to become clairvoyant, can you say, why am I clairvoyant? Yes, you can become anything. This is what I'm teaching you guys. Whatever you want, you can say it. You can say, why am I so clairvoyant? Why am I so psychically gifted? Why am I the best at what I do? Why do I make so much money? Why is my business? And you do that because what happens is the act of repeating this thing will get to your subconscious, which creates the habit of it, and it becomes your reality. You got to remember, your reality is a backdrop of nothing. It's like you're creating this stuff. So yeah, anything you say, you become. Anything you think, you become. Anything you focus on, you become. 100%. You can say, why am I a lottery jackpot winner? Why do I win the lottery so easy? I guarantee you one day I'll come and you win that jackpot. If you're patient, if you stick with it, if your ego don't try to cut you down, you will get there. Is there such a thing as too confident? Yes, of course there's a thing as too confident. There's arrogance or overconfidence where because, and this is what you got to be careful of, because I never talked about this, but there's a certain part of the ego called the spiritual ego. Did you know that? It's the part of the ego where the ego sees that you're learning all these things, and your ego says, oh man, I didn't know we could do that stuff. I'm on board with this. I like this spiritual stuff. And then the ego starts to now think it's better than everybody. So when you're walking around people, you're looking at people like lower than you. That's the spiritual ego. You got to be careful of that. And there's a lot of people that fall victim to that. I'm sure there's a lot of big time, maybe spiritual teachers out there, and you'd be surprised. They may seem like this, but in person they may have the biggest ego. You'll never know, because some people just don't know. So you have to be careful. You have to have a humble confidence. You have to be able to, talk to everybody just like everybody. But there is such a thing as overconfidence, and that's due to what we call the spiritual ego. That's when the ego understands what you're doing spiritually and then tries to put its flavor on it by saying, oh man, I got this, let's do this, and put its touches on it, and where you get it. Yeah, there is power in scripting. You write it down, you'll experience it. Yeah, there is power in scripting. But again, it's just what resonates with the individual. But it works. You got to find your niche. I'm forced to take the jab. Get fired by next week. My soul doesn't want to accept it. I'm quitting my job, brother. I know the universe sending me. Yeah, I mean, you have to focus on you, man. And I feel you on that, because the universe, remember, you are creator, and you will find a way. Just you got to be confident, know that things will work out in your favor, and I respect that. How do I get rid of anxiousness while manifesting my desires? So here's a clue. So anytime you're manifesting your desires and you're feeling anxious, it's usually that it's a sign that you are too much attached or expecting it, and you're thinking in the future. Anytime you're anxious, it means that you're too much in the future. So to get rid of anxiousness, you want to start to practice being present. Being in the moment is the real key. Like I said, when you get into the state of knowing, you also become in the state of being in the moment. So time actually dissipates for you when you become that state of knowing. Like all this stuff, like your age and all, you don't even think of that. All this stuff just get erased, man. You're not living a day or a year. You're living moment to moment. That's powerful to be in that state. Think about that. Where you don't see things in time, but you see things in moments. You don't see things in like last year or last month. You just see things in moments, snapshots of moments. Imagine how powerful that is. When do you check your lottery tickets? I always say, 2 weeks, months. Sometimes I go a month, 2 months, whatever. I mean, it's gonna happen. You're gonna get it. You're gonna get it, man. Just don't go by when it expires. I think 6 months. Some of them expire 6 months. But that's a great start for you guys because, when you don't check your tickets, it's actually teaching you detachment and acceptance and getting you prepared for what you want. It actually helps you. That's a big tip. It's doing so much when you can do that because it's teaching your ego to show your ego that, it's already yours. You don't feel that anxiousness. How do you feel about the fifth dimension? Which fifth dimension are we speaking about? Someone enlighten me. But the fifth dimension, there are different dimensions. Snapshots of moments. Yep, that's how I look at life now. I stopped looking at life as months. I used to do this. I used to look at last year or this year or whatever. I don't do that anymore. I just look at snapshot of moments. Okay, this moment, that moment. And I find that so immensely powerful because it clears so much resistance now and stop putting pressure on you, and you think like your time or this time is passing or you got to do that and all that stuff, because in reality there is no time. It's just the moment to moment. And when you do that, it's like you are moving at this pace, like this slow pace, and everybody else is like around you, and you're the only one in the middle, just like in your own zone. And everybody else is, they're all walking around, they're aging, they're getting sick, and they're stressed, and you're just getting what you want. Getting what you want. Because your cells in the body will recognize that there's no time. So I don't have to age as fast. I don't have to get stressed as fast. When the cells realize that, now look, this is real stuff here, guys, but check this out. Time, if you go into a black hole, let's say you take your body and you go into a black hole, time doesn't exist there. So if you can find a way to sit in a black hole, you don't age. Real science fact. There are places in the universe, black holes, where time, there's some places where time speeds, slows, and stops. Black hole, time actually freezes. There's no time. You can adopt that mentality right here. Not stop time, but you can immensely get it down to where everybody around you will be trapped in this time zone or timelines thing, and you won't. Which is a lot of power, I think. Are dogs in the fifth dimension? You mean animals in the fifth dimension? I don't know. You see, the fifth dimension is a different high dimension of different beings. Open mind again. I could be, but I don't know. But what I do know about dimensions is that there are some dimensions that, for example, you can access. For example, you and I, we live in 3 dimensions. But we have 4, we use time, but let's keep time out of it to make it simple for you. So we live in 3 dimensions. That means our brain, our eyes, it developed to see things in 3D, in 3 dimensions, okay? Let's say now there's a 2-dimensional world. So let's call it the flat land, because all they can see is just forward and backward. They can't see up and down. So that's their dimension. So the people live on the flat land. They live in 2-dimensional world. So they're walking around doing their thing. You and I live in 3 dimensions. That means we can go into the flatland in a 2-dimensional world because we have access to up and down. So they're walking, all of a sudden we pop in to them. It looked like we just appeared out of nowhere. See that? Because their way their eye work and their brain work, they only see things in 2D. So they see us pop in, it looks like magic or like a god, and then we pop back out. They can't see us in 3-dimensional because they're 2, so they'll just see a part of us popping in, and then we pop back out. That's power. Now, let's go to the 4th dimension. What about a being in the 4th dimension? What about a being in the 5th dimension? They pop into our dimension. It looks the same thing to us, It looks like they just come out of nowhere, bloop, and then they go back, bloop. That's why people may see what they talk about spirits or ghosts or beings or angels and all. Look, this thing just appeared and disappeared. That's because it lived in another dimension and is able to access our dimension. But to us, because we have a 3D concept, there's no way we can perceive it. Now, if we even go higher now, here's the next part about it. What about 5, 6, 7, 8th dimensions? You can't even see those things. They could be standing right next to you right now. You can't perceive them, but they can perceive you. Gets deep, man. It gets very, very deep. What about chakras? Yeah, chakras are there. They're energy points in your body. We have these different chakra points, and it's where we charge and recharge. So the chakras are important. They can get blocked, and they get blocked because of like a lot of emotional stuff. But the best thing to do for chakra, you know, if you want to like really clear or get your chakras up working really, really good, you know, the best thing to do is meditate, keep your mind present, and remove the subconscious block. A lot of that comes in through your chakras, the subconscious block stuff, man. Does semen retention work? Many yogis say that every time you release, you're killing yourself because you're giving the best of yourself because your body thinks it's reproducing. That is actually incorrect. Let's talk about this, and this is like the elephant in the room. A lot of people don't want to talk about, but I'm gonna talk about this based on the evidence and how the human body works, biology works here. All right. So I'm not going to just do this and make people feel good. I'm going to tell you the truth. All right. So your body cannot hold semen for a long, long time. If you try to retain semen, your body's going to release it some way through wet dreams. So what does that say? The body has to naturally release semen. So if you retain in semen for a little bit, it helps. But if you're trying to do it for like 5, 6 months, a year, it ain't gonna happen. Your body's gonna naturally let it go. Now there's benefits of releasing your semen. It actually creates endorphins. It actually, for males, it actually helps to prevent a prostate cancer. They find that men who release semen, I think a few times a month versus men who don't, they have a 30% less chance of developing prostate cancer. So with semen retention, do it in balance, man. That's all I gotta say. But if you're trying to do it and think it's gonna make you like super enlightened, it's not going to work, because at a point in time, your body's gonna release those semen. It's called wet dream. I would advise you, you know, less is more. That's my thing. If you have a significant other, you have a girlfriend or a female boyfriend, whatever. If not, then you have to find a way to balance it out. I do semen retention, but it's only an initiation into tantra energy. Got to keep flowing in the long term. Yep. Sexual energy is powerful to create. Yeah, balance is the key. Yeah, you got. Hey, I agree with Stash Pie here, man. You gotta let it off every now and then, bro. Sorry. Same thing with women, men. We're all reproducing creatures. We're animals. We're just higher advanced animals. Just like you see animals, we're just a higher advanced animals than them. We have animal DNA. We're part animals, so we have a natural thing to reproduce. And sometimes that's where religion gets. Religion makes you feel guilty, man, about stuff like that. It says, "Oh, you're going to hell. You're da da da." All that is man-made stuff. Just listen to your body. Follow what your body says to do. You'll know something when you're doing it too much. You'll notice, like, man, you get whatever, feel tired or all this stuff. Your body will tell you. Just listen to your body. Now, yes, pornography, now that's a different thing. Pornography does affect the mind. Pornography creates these high endorphins and keeps you into this expecting more and gives you this unrealistic view. It really does. It can affect and mess you up, man. So uh, don't get addicted to that stuff, bro. I think you should what? You should do it with in nature. What is the significance? Meditation or lucid dream? Your favorite? Oh, lucid dream is always great because it feels like you're in a different dimension or a world. So I would always do lucid dream. And look, remember we talk about dimensions, right, and stuff like that. You know, when you dream, do you know you're actually in another dimension, in another reality? Did you know that? Should you give yourself a break from playing the lottery to reset your manifestation on winning? You should give yourself a break from lottery if you feel you're too attached to it. If you're feeling like a lot of resistance, if you want it so bad, if you're spending too much money, if you don't have a budget, if you that's when you have to give yourself a break. What are subconscious hacks? Subconscious hacks are the ability to target your subconscious mind repeatedly to change the program to something that makes your life better. That's a subconscious hack. Be able to go inside and change to create a new habit that will move you in a direction to get your goals accomplished. That's subconscious hack. Mark, my children burned alive in Veek Star. Whoa, mad in court, da da da. I don't feel resistance, but now I have to manifest justice myself. Yes, that's fine. You can do that. But just you got to remember, guys, that when we go, because we all will go one day. I mean, the Earth is not going to last, right? I mean, I told you this. I said about next 3 to 4 billion years from now, the sun will exhaust all its nuclear fusion and starts to burn hydrogen, and it will start to collapse. It will become a red giant, and it will grow so big that it will actually engulf the Earth's orbit, and all of this will be gone. So what will be left is your energy, your consciousness, you, the true version of yourself that will transform again and come into something else. So uh, we have to understand that as human beings, yeah, we lose loved ones, and that's just yeah, you're gonna feel emotion, the physical stuff, but that's lower self ego stuff, and that's you have to grieve. That's part of the process. But you want to look at bigger picture to understand that your loved ones or individuals, they're not truly gone. They're still there. Their essence or energy is somewhere. They could be incarnated in another multiverse, another universe, and you can pick up energies of all, because we're learning all these things now, and it's just the physical. We're just so attached to physical stuff because I mean we see reality as physical things, man. We are exposed to it, so we get this idea that everything is physical. My condolences from Detroit native. Yes, definitely. Have you ever done or plan on doing psychedelics like ayahuasca or DMT? I am I am not gonna. I don't do psychedelics, and that's my personal thing because my information, I get it naturally, and I believe that I was chosen as a purpose to do this. So what I'm doing is just my natural gift and abilities. Now, with that being said, uh, ayahuasca or these DMT now, the research is starting to show now that they are having some effect on human evolution and helping humans. I know people who've done ayahuasca, and they have gotten to be very enlightened. I've also known people to do ayahuasca, and they've gotten pretty down because they don't know how to handle it. So you have to be balanced to what you're doing. But ayahuasca, I would say, the people that I've known, they have really took them to a higher level of consciousness. So do your research. Just don't jump into someone says, hey, you got to do this. Don't do it. Go with the flow, study, and then before you do something like that. Mark, if you see 888 and are preoccupied, is there a best way to act? Yeah, just if you see 888, just acknowledge in your mind. You remember, guys. So when you see the synchronicities, I'm not telling you to just go out there and just say, yo, synchronicities. Oh, come here. I'm not telling you to do that. All I'm saying is, you see it, just do something like this. Thank you. Got you. Got you. That's all. That's all you got to do. Yep. You don't have to go crazy on the synchronicities, right? I took shrooms and it took me to 5D. Yeah. That's possible, good, but everything you do it in balance. You should always visualize in the mornings and at night before bed. Yeah, I made a video about this. I think should be out tomorrow, but I'll talk about it now. I think it's called, what is it, Taking Back Your True Power. So in the mornings, and in the podcast I mentioned this too, on a podcast channel I made. You know, in the mornings when you get up, you have 2 hours where you're in this theta state. So you have this ability, when you're in theta state, right? You have ability to impress your subconscious. So that's why you may see a lot of teachers, like a lot of law of attraction teachers, and they say stuff, the spiritual teachers, they always talk about, you know, you got to do stuff in the morning. It's powerful, which is true. Just true. Now, here's what I do. This is my observation, my knowledge of how I think it works, and I see the best results. I like to do most of my work before bed. Why is that? Because I find that's the most powerful time to get you in your unconscious. Because number one, you're relaxed, you're winding down, the body's now relaxed. Number two, the body's more ready to take information because you've processed so much stuff. Number three, when you go to bed, whatever you put in, your mind's going to work double hard to get it. Versus when you get up in the morning. When you get up in the morning, you're starting your day. That's my opinion, my belief. But they're good either way. But I believe it's more powerful right before bed. Mark, why don't you have a super chat account? What is a super chat account? I don't know, guys. I mean, the YouTube, what is it? YouTube stuff, technical stuff and all that stuff. I'm not too much into it, man. I just get on here to make the videos and just keep stuff going. But yeah, if you could tell me how to activate the super chat, I'll go do it. I've heard super chat. Mark, if you feel that you're extremely close to achieve to have your manifestation, you should persevere. Let's take the example of lottery jackpot or the signs they are all the time. Yeah, now I will say this, I'll use my example with the lottery, man. When the first time when I won that lottery, right? I would get a lot of signs, but I fell into the trap because the signs were so prevalent that here I go, and that's where I messed it up. That's why I'm teaching you, so you don't do this. Because my ego seen all the signs, man. My ego was convincing me, like, man, you're gonna get this in like the next couple weeks, bro. Next month. I'm like, yeah, man, I'm already planning, man. I'm like getting ready to tell my job what to do, I'm like, peace out. I'm out of here. Didn't happen. It actually happened like up to a year after. So the moral of the lesson in this is, when you see the synchronicities, remember how the universe works. When synchronicities are the signs, they're happening now because there's no time. But to our minds, there's like, we call that time delay, which we calculate as years. So you could be seeing the signs, but you have to just go until it happened. Don't try to decode it. It could be next month, it could be a couple years, whatever. But as the main point I learned is, if you do see the signs, it's gonna happen. It's not a matter of if, it's just a matter of when. And it's a matter of, can you persevere? Can you be patient? If you can't handle the patience, then if you give up, then you'll never have it. My thing is, if you give up, you will never, there's no chance you will ever have it. But if you stick with it, it means there is an opportunity for you to have it. Especially now that you can deliberately create that stuff. That's how I view with the lottery. Lottery, I gotta have a lot of patience. I told you guys, like, I do these numbers when I Bring these numbers out. I'll start posting more numbers that I win, but I just don't want to keep posting these stuff, because people say, man, why you keep posting numbers? We know you win and win. So that's why I don't post a lot of the wins I have, race, because I think you guys already know how it works. But um, when I do these numbers, like I collapse these numbers, some of them, man, they take, the last one that came out was a few months. It took me like 12 months, man. Someone's took 4 months. So it's a patient game, because remember now, this is being created by my unconscious and that subconscious world, and it doesn't work with time like I do. So when I say 6 months to a year, my subconscious is like, no, bro, it didn't manifest in a year. It manifested now. And I say, no, bro, it took a year. No, bro, it took now. Who's right? My unconscious is right, because technically there's no time. So you have to understand that concept if you're going to do stuff like the lottery. Yeah, there's some people that will win tomorrow or the next day or a week or a month, but I believe that it has two factors. It could be the resistance, or it could be something in your soul contract. There's this guy that was Shane Meisler. This guy is a 23-year-old guy. He won like 200 something $1 million and did it real quick. That may be in his soul contract. So you gotta factor in things like that. Oh, look at this! It's awesome. In the last 2 weeks, listening to your sleep meditation, I've won about $9,000 in the lottery. Yeah, see, for example, uh, Kristen right here. See, 2 weeks listening. There's some people that make listen to subliminals for 6 months and don't win it and don't get anything yet. So it just depends. But the big picture, I always look. What I want to also focus on is, I always look at the big picture now. See, now that's the thing I look at. I look at big end goal here. So when you're doing the lottery, it's not a matter if you get those signs. It's just the big picture. It's not a matter of if I'm going to win. It's just when. I take that any day. If someone came to you and say, you're going to win the lottery, but it's going to be such and such, but you're going to have a lot of money, what are you going to do? You'd be like, man, I'll take that. Someone comes to you and says, I don't know, it's a 50-50 you might win, or if, that's not good. But if you're getting signs, like you're getting dreams of winning the lottery, dreams are the biggest signs, man. If you dream of someone winning the lottery, not even you, but remember, all your dreams are reflections of you. So when people in your dreams winning, it's really your dream is talking to you, because your subconscious only knows you. So if you dream like your dad won or your mom won, it's really you that's winning. That's your subconscious talking to you. So if you have dreams like that, that's a huge sign you're going to win. You know what else is a huge sign you're going to win? If you decide to play. If you make a decision, I'm going to play and I want to win, and you stay focused, you're going to win. One day you're going to win. I can guarantee you that. I just can't guarantee you when it will be, but I know it will happen one day. That's it with the lottery. One now. Have I won lately? Yeah, I won about a few months back. Yeah, a few months back I won some nice stuff. I win all the time, but I just don't post them a lot. Are you on every platform there is? I don't know. I see. I want to get as much exposure out so that I can help people to just grasp these concepts and how these stuff work. But I think I'm pretty much, yeah. I think I need to be more on Twitter though, maybe. But yeah, it's so much platforms, right? You just gotta focus on which ones work. But yeah, I'm on Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. I got on what is the other one there? Clubhouse. I started doing Clubhouse format. That's nice. Is there any other platforms that are good? Maybe you could suggest. YouTube, of course, is always the best. A good one to get on. Can you actually get rid of limiting beliefs for good, or would it always be there? Yes, you can get rid of limiting beliefs for good. They never will come back. Remember how your subconscious work? It's like a computer. So let's use an example of a computer. Let's say you're running like Windows 9 or something. You put Windows 10 in, it will never go back to Windows 9. So yeah, that's how your subconscious works. No matter what, if you're running Windows 10, Windows 9 will never come back. So if you get rid of a limiting belief, and you put it with a new program, it will never come back. It's going to run what the program you put into there. What's a soul contract? A soul contract is something you made before you came here. So let me give you like an example of a soul contract would be. So let's say now you're chilling out in the universe in your natural form, and you're saying, man, yeah, I'm gonna go to Earth, man, in about, I'm gonna be there at 2021, da da da, and then you see like you have other beings that are out there just like you, and soul contract say, listen, I'm gonna make a contract with you that we're gonna meet up on July 2nd, 2021, and you're gonna help me do this. I'm gonna do that. That's a soul contract. It's something you make with other souls before you get here. So when you get here, you meet. So soul contracts, and that brings into what you call like the twin flames. It brings into what you call yeah, what is it? What's the other one? Like twin flames and soul partner, or what, soulmate. All those are things that you made before, and then you guys like reunite. And then especially with like a twin flame now, a twin flame is an interesting one, because I don't know if a lot of people know what a twin flame really is. A twin flame is actually like a version of you, a parallel version of you. So let's say you're a guy, and then you meet your twin flame girl, and you wonder why like you guys don't get along at first. Like, man, why is it so hard, man? Because it's you. It's the same version of you. It thinks like you, acts like you. So it already knows you're one step ahead. So it's like you fighting yourself, or you. So that's why sometimes with twin flames you feel like, man, why is this person, it doesn't work, or you feel like a lot of ups and downs with twin flames. So usually with the twin flame, the partner is usually a lot older, like with the male and the female. So if it's a male twin flame meeting a female twin flame, the male twin flame will be a lot older, because one of those souls wants to come back a lot older so he could learn. So if you guys have twin flames, like maybe you have a female, you're a girl, you'll notice that she'll be a lot younger than you. Or females, you have a male twin flame, he'll be a lot older than you, because that's what you decided. The souls, the flame, the souls come back because they want to learn. But it's a version of you. So that means if you're a male and you're talking to a girl, twin flame, you're talking to the male version of yourself in a female form. That she came back as you. See that? Right. Your journey should be natural. Start feeling yourself. Your journey is easy. And if we're our own creators, do we really need to pray? If so, how exactly do we pray to ourselves by affirmations? Yes. Now this is a tough one. This is a tough pill to swallow here, because I was brought up in the religion, man, and I was brought up in prayer and all that stuff, man. And I used to pray, and you know what happened when I would pray? Yeah, things would happen. But when I discovered the truth and I realized I was actually praying to me, to the universe, the part of me, because when I would pray, and after I pray, I'll feel so confident, like my prayer is going to be answered. The reason why I feel so confident is because I know, and because I know is my subconscious mind accepted that. So that's what prayer is. Whenever you pray, guys, and you say, "Oh God, help me," there's not a God in the sky. It's no one coming to help you. You're gonna come help yourself through your unconscious, because you're part of the universe. So yeah, you can continue to pray, but just know that when you pray, you're praying to your divine self, that part of you that is what you call God, that listens, and your higher self, you could say, and it knows more, so it helps you. So that's prayer. So you can do it in affirmations, or you can pray whatever feels comfortable. But you have to get the fact that there is no like external person up there like taking your orders or waiting for numbers to say, all right, you're next, or you can't answer your prayer because, oh, you've been bad last week, you didn't do this week. And all that is false, man. You will get anything you want. So you can do it through affirmation or prayer. I know this is a hard pill to swallow for some people, because we've all been so indoctrinated. But as I said before, remember, I said what? Science fiction, or the truth, can be stranger than fiction. And that goes into religion. Mark, what if everything around is falling apart? I mean, when you lose it all, that is another sign that you are getting close to your manifestation. Yes, so that's a big sign, and we mistake that for giving up. So I always talk about momentum. I say when things are going to change, like I use the example of a car, like you're driving your car. When you press your brakes, right? Your car does not instantly stop. It takes a little time, slows, and then stops. That's because the speed your car was going when you press the brakes, it was still carrying momentum. It's the same thing with manifesting. So so let's say press your brakes on the car and the car stops. I call that the neutral zone, because as soon as you press the brakes, nothing's happening. But then you take your foot off, you press the accelerator, you begin a new momentum. That's what happens in your life. So whenever things start fall apart, it was that old momentum. See, because you had this old momentum and you start to think these new positive thoughts. So you're in that what I call that zone where nothing seems to happen. But now, because when things fall apart, they're actually coming together, and then they press the accelerator, you start to build a new momentum. So you have to keep that in mind. That's how it always works. Mark, is porn limiting your manifestations? If it's distracting you from your goals, it is. Everything's in balance here. Can we tap into the subconscious directly? Yeah, you tap into your subconscious directly through, well, if you mean in not subliminals, yeah, the best way to tap into your subconscious directly is talk out loud in question format. That's how you're going to tap into your subconscious directly. Can the female be older in the twin flame connection? It can, but it's unlikely. I mean, anything. Remember, we live in a universe that's endless, but not more often. It is the male that's older, and the female is a lot younger in twin flame. But it can go the way. It again depends on the two souls, the two contracts you guys made. But overall, it's usually that way because one soul decides that it wants to come back to learn from the other soul. Yeah. You see, and look, religion wouldn't teach you this stuff like reincarnation, all this stuff. You will never see this stuff because you know when we invented when we got into the world and we invented a system, a monetary system, a government, and all that stuff. It was a structure or an ideology behind it. So it says this is how we're going to live and this is how we're going to indoctrinate the people. And so a lot of this stuff was lost in knowledge and understanding. So, and when you're being exposed to this stuff now, some of it may sound very trippy or weird to you, but what happens now, you start to spiritually experience these things, and then you start to question and say, man, I hear what religion's saying, but it's not adding up. And now you start to figure out the truth. If success guaranteed if you say, why am I a millionaire? And you say it and write it down like 100,000 times a day for 365, no, you're not going to get success that way. You're creating too much resistance. You're doing too much. You can't. Listen, if you want, just go and say, why am I so successful? And visualize. That's it. But if you're trying to write stuff down every day, 365, you're creating resistance. It's not going to work. You can't trick your mind now. Your mind knows when it feels natural or when you're trying to force or get something. Are the chosen ones ever get to your level of wisdom? Of course, all of you guys will get to my level of wisdom. I'm no special than you guys. The only difference is I have the knowledge to teach you and to help you. But yes, some of you may pass me, and that's good. That's what it's supposed to be. A teacher when he teaches the students is supposed to excel or pass the teacher. That's why it's a teacher. People don't understand that. People think the teacher is supposed to be like the big one and get all the gold and glamour. No, that's not a teacher's role. A teacher's role is to help you so you get that big gold and glamour, because that's why you came here to teach, so someone else can excel. So every single person can attain that. And I mean, many of you already have, man. I've seen so much good emails. Avoid scammers and pray that you win. Yeah, you gotta avoid these scammers. And I know this thing going on too, guys. And I'm sure you guys, you're on my channel. You guys are very smart. So, you guys always report. So if you see these like scammers, especially like saying like the WhatsApp, the doctor so and so will help you get your lottery, I know you ain't falling for it. So just report it, and keep it up. But they're just people out there that are gullible, that will try to just prey on your intention and your goodwill. What do you think the Vatican is hiding? We don't know the truth. That they're hiding the truth. The truth is in there. They're not going to release that stuff. You know, that's a lot of stuff I'm gonna put on my podcast. But you guys know the deal. I don't want to go too crazy here because you know the censorship and everything. But you know what's up. Mark, how often do you think we should ejaculate in order to not get drained? That's a question that you have to figure out for your body. You got to observe your body and know how your body works. If when your semen depleted, you will know because you'll feel like your energy got to be down, man. Just do things in balance. Be balanced with what you're doing. And here's a big tip: whenever you're gonna use sex, whether it's a partner or whether it's not, you must always use sex as best way to put this so you can get this. Use the energy to create what you want. So yeah, so the energy that's when it comes from that point, or that the high point of sexual intercourse, that energy has come, you have to visualize like whatever you want manifesting, create it. That's created. Now that's what those gurus talk about when they say for reproduction. So use the energy to create something. It doesn't mean you have to create a child or a kid. No, that's not. You create your goal or dream. So instead of just using it and just wasting it, why don't you use it and then visualize your goal as you get into your climax point, and then see your goal vision, because that's how it works. Because again, I'll say this, guys, there's nothing to be ashamed of, man. You're human beings. You're just like we're like animals. We're just highly more advanced animals. Everybody has the need for that desire, so it's nothing to feel ashamed of. It's just that you have to be balanced. If you know you have a problem, and trust me, you will know when you have a problem. So we know that. Mark, can you speak more on twin flames? Okay, so the next thing about twin flames is your twin flame usually will be long distance. That's the next thing about twin flame. The twin flame won't be like next door to you. It'll be some kind. The twin flame will have some kind of distance connection going on. So it'll be the age gap, and then there'll be the distance, and then the twin flame will have you'll have you'll go good, but then you'll go bad, because when you have two people with the same personality, it's not always going to work good. So if you notice your twin flame, you always have guys always butting heads. You know why? So that's basically about the twin flames. Now, and the twin flame thing too, it could also now get the twin flame doesn't mean like soulmate or like you got to marry to that person. It can be. Twin flame could mean just you're here to teach you something. You could get in a relationship. It could lead to something more. Again, it just depends on the contract with the twin flame. So the twin flames, it's always there to teach you something. Always something about, it's something to do with patience, with open-mindedness, with empathy, with understanding, with being unselfish. It's something your souls come back. And the next thing about twin flame is, interestingly, with the twin flame one, so let's say you are a male, the female twin flame will usually find the male twin flame. In other words, so if you're a guy, the girl will somehow find you. That doesn't mean that she'll just come out and be like, "Hey man, I'm your twin flame," but there's something will happen where you'll connect with her. She'll seek you out, or you'll bump into her. The female twin flame will always be the one that will kind of initiate that first contact with the male twin flame. That's another thing about twin flame. So the girl will always find the guy, and then the bond will begin, and they'll kind of know like that. And then twin flames, that bond could be for years before they even get intimate as well. So that means you can know your twin flame for 2, 3, 5 more years. Then you guys may get together. That's another thing about twin flame. Yeah, they all, and twin flames always have a way of keeping the connection too. So that's why I say it could be years, and but the distance too is a big thing. Your twin flame may all be in another country, and it's interesting about twin flames too. Let you can not talk to each other for like 1 year, and then all of a sudden you reach back and say hey, and it feel like you picked up yesterday. So a twin flame is that. Mark, have you met your twin flame? Haha, I'm not gonna say. Who knows? Take a guess. I don't know. Mark, how to catch a what? Vibrate? Well, I made a comment then. Good. Wouldn't you say your affirmations like 100 times a day be better because it would reprogram the subconscious faster? No. Here's what you gotta learn. Okay, quality versus quantity. Quality versus quantity. It's not how much you say it, is when you say it and what energy and focus you put into it. Me, I can just say affirmations 3 times in a whole day, and it has the effect of me saying it 5,000 times. So that's what you want to get in the habit of. Don't get in the habit of thinking like the more you do it, it's going to impress. Because when you do that, the habit you're trying to don't try to impress your subconscious, because then you're creating lack. What you want to create, you just want to create quality. The mindset is quality. You ever heard of work smarter than work harder? That's what it is. Quantity over quality, right? Quality over quantity. You want to produce quality. So that means you can write it down 3 times, and just the 3 times you focus on the energy you put, it will be equivalent to 1,000 times. So that's something you guys don't want to get into the habit of. And I know there's a lot of stuff out there that teaches you, like you gotta, like I think the 369 says that you gotta do this so much. I'm sure you guys do. Do you realize how much drainage that is, though? You can comment about that if you've done 369 method. It works, but how drained are you? And it doesn't even last that long. You may get it for a little bit, it goes back. Writing down every single day, man, it doesn't work that way. It's quality over quantity. What are your thoughts on tarot cards? They're accurate because again they're using your subconscious. Tarot cards, the pendulum, those are very accurate because they're going into the intuitive mind. They're picking up from a higher dimension, or these higher beings as well. Do you have your twin flame already, Mark? I think I said I don't answer that one yet. The more you repeat to yourself, the more often you say your affirmation to yourself, the more you are aligned with the higher self. Yes, with quality. I'll give you so look, the best thing you can do is in the morning. Every morning you get up. I'll give you a really simple morning. Somebody asked me earlier what's a good morning routine. Every morning you get up, you look in the mirror, and you can do it in 2 ways. You can say, you look in the mirror, you can say, I believe in you. You can say, I know I'm the best. I know I'm da-da-da. I know that, whatever you want to put, and then you can add some, why am I so, why am I that, and then you leave for the entire day, and that's it. You don't have to say any more. Look how simple that is. That's 100% effective, and it works the same as someone writing it down all day. Matter of fact, you may get better results than that, because what you're doing, you're conditioning your mind that I am no longer in a resistance mode. I know I'm going to get this. You know, when you know you're going to get something, do you try to, if you know something's going to come, right? Let's say, you know, like you're expecting like a package or something, you know it's coming. Are you out there like searching or hunting it down? No, you're probably doing something else, because he's like, that's in the bag already. I'm not even worried about that. That's how it is with manifesting. What if somebody is seeing 4 of their lottery numbers in the same area at time and seeing? That's a sign too. That used to happen to me. I used to be one-offs a lot on the lottery. How to win in the casino slots. The casino slots is all about intuition and feeling, and looking and seeing which machine is calling you out. You'll know. The machine will call you. You have to practice walking by and touching the machines. Every machine you touch, you go like this, touch the machines, touch them. And then when you touch them, one of the machines will touch you back. you'll feel like a different energy. That's the one you're going to play. That's the one you're going to win. Next one is you walk around the casino and a machine is going to call you out without touching it. There'll be like a light, 7-7 or whatever. You got to be open to be led. When you go to casino, you have to be non-resistant. You have to say, all right, I'm ready to be led. Don't go in a casino with an intention to play at this machine or that. Go in a casino with openness to win whatever you want me to win. That's how you're going to win big in a casino, man. You're going to win like the jackpot. You can hit the $1 million jackpot. Okay. Is it necessary to visualize your desires every day in order to manifest them? No. Because it's going to get to a point that you're going to visualize nightly, and then you're going to feel, anytime you feel like you don't want to visualize, follow it. It's a sign that your mind is talking. You say, hey, saying, bro, chill. I got this already. You don't have to push it anymore. Got to listen to your mind. Don't listen to your ego. Does birthday numbers have to do with our success in life? Yes and no. Because, again, it's all about the time and the position of the planets on the day you were born. So they do have some effects. But they're more powerful when you're using like the lottery things. You see a lot of people, right? They win on their birthdays. No coincidence. That's what those vibrational numbers do. They help you to align that way. Mark, do you find your energy or vibration goes up and down to a track? And how do you raise your vibration you feel? And you're like, yeah, of course, I'm human. There's times you're going to feel that stuff. So what the best advice is, again, remember now, I'm a person, I'm flowing. It is what it is. I'm ebb and flow. So if I notice that, all right, I'm down, then I'll accept it. And I won't try to force it. I'll just do my best, and then I'll go back up again. That's what I do. When I notice if I'm down, I don't try to force feed, or if I try to force like, oh, I got to get back up. I understand, okay, I'm down. I'll scan, I'll say, okay, what is it? If I can't feel what it is, because usually you can feel, then I'll just say, all right, it is what it is. And then I just continue to put my mind on something that's more positive. What I don't do, I do not focus on why I'm down. And then, because we have cells and nerves and emotions, man. Certain food we eat, things in our life can affect our mood. So you gotta put that all into consideration. Mark, I just like to thank you. I won 45,000. Was one number off. Took 4 months. Christopher. Yep, that's what I'm talking about. Good stuff, Christopher. And you'll win again. And you can win as much as you want. So Christopher won 45 grand in the lottery, one number off. Curious, what was the one number off, Christopher? It seems like it probably was a $1 million prize or a 6-figure prize, right? Followed Mark teachings and won at the Motor City Casino downtown Detroit. There you go, Erica. That's what I'm talking about. Yes, you have to visualize your desires daily. You have to be present and patient. Well, this is from Alan, right? Alan Factor Media. So what I've discovered, Alan, is once you get to this space of knowing, and yes, if you're beginning, you visualize it, but it's going to get to the point, guys, where you're going to visualize twice a night, and that's all it takes. It takes a point to get there. So, but here's a tip for you, though, that you can do. The secret is, if you can go to bed every night and you can do what I call a quick visual or think. So when you fall asleep, just think about something you want, and say this to yourself when you're falling asleep. Just call your name and say Jackie, focus on what you want. Al, focus on what you want. Say it out loud so your ego won't interrupt you, and then your ego will give you space, and then you can think, and then you fall asleep. That's very powerful. That's like visualizing on steroids. Any meaning often waking up at 3 to 4 a.m. Whenever you wake up at 3 to 4 a.m., you're receiving spiritual downloads. That's the time your body is syncing with information coming in. So anybody that's experiencing these synchronicity waking up times of 3:44, 4:44, You're being downloaded with information that's going to show up. It could show up tomorrow. It could show up 2 months, 3 months. But you're beginning your spiritual ascension and spiritual journey. Mark, I'm trying to sell my business, but I haven't sold it yet. Stop trying to sell your business and allow your business to be sold. How do you do that? You start to accept that your business is sold. Go in the mirror. Why is my business being sold? Why is it so easy for me to sell my business? I know my business is being sold. My business is already sold. Visualize quickly, let it go, and then keep your mind on something else. I guarantee your business will be sold in the next few days or a few months, weeks, whatever. It's going to be selling. But right now, you're trying and you're creating a subconscious resistance. The minute you do that, you're going to sell your business. Watch. Mark, when I stop playing the lottery, I can't stop having dreams about me winning. But when I begin to play again, I play my daily limit and don't win it back. Well, when it comes to the lottery, this way you have to be budget. So you know, remember I talk about big picture. Look at big picture. You're gonna win. It's just when. So you have to be able to accept that and stop. You can't like regret or like I'm losing money or any of that, because if you're gonna play the lottery, losing is not in there. So if you think you're losing money, don't play the lottery, because it's gonna eat you up all the time. That's why you have to have a budget. Well, I hate. Well, I'm gonna be real. You gotta have money to burn if you're gonna play the lottery. Point blank. Money that's not gonna hurt you. That's why I say create a budget. Money that you can afford to lose until you manifest it. I keep hearing high pitched noises when I'm up at 3. That's the download. Yep, your body's changing. And also many of you guys, if you're standing up on the ground but you don't have your phone and you're vibrating, that ever happened to you? Like your phone isn't vibrating, but you feel like your phone is your body's vibrating. That's spiritual download. You can never force it. What's the time here? I got one. Man, the last live I did was 3 hours. I don't know if that's long, but I'm not gonna go 3 hours today. Maybe a little over 2. I'll just go with the flow. All right. Why do I continuously see the handicap sign on car tags? Are you looking for handicap signs? Maybe that your mind is looking for that. I'm not picking up any significant sign with a handicap sign. Man, I wish I had dreams about good things like winning the lottery. I'll get there. This is from Abundance. Abundance, look, Abundance Tribe, look. What I'm saying to you is what I'm teaching you guys is you don't have to have dreams to win the lottery. I'm saying if someone naturally have dreams, it's a great sign they're on it. When I started this, I never had a dream about winning the lottery, and I won. It's after I won my first one, I started to have dreams about winning. But before, I never had a dream about winning the lottery, and I won it. So it doesn't matter. All right. How to manifest, Mark, how to manifest a new contract for my business. You go in the mirror and you speak out those words, you know. You have to speak it in present tense, you know. So first ask yourself this question: what would it look like to have a new contract for my business? That's the first one you should say. How would it make me feel to have a new contract for my business? In the mirror, start to think about the end goal of what actually would it look like. What's the process of you doing that? And then focus on that, and you'll start to attract that thing to come in. How to attract someone specific but don't want to manipulate? Well, to attract someone specific, so okay, when it comes to with relationship, especially guys, I'm going to talk about this, and with females you may be able to know this too. So guys, I'm gonna put you on some game here. All right, it doesn't matter how much you like a woman. Doesn't matter. What matters is how much the woman like you. So that means don't try to go impress or over impress, because it doesn't matter. You think based on if I do this or I will do that, she'll like me. No, it's not gonna help. A woman already know how much she like you. So to manifest a specific person, you gotta approach it from that thing with no resistance. Don't go in there and thinking like, I have to do this to get her. Be yourself. That's it, man. Because is the woman does the choosing. It's not really us. The guys, you don't do the choosing. Women do the choosing. They allow you to choose them. So when it comes to females, it's how much they like you. It's not what you do. Now there's exceptions. There's some women out there that I mean you can influence them. Maybe they're more materialistic and things like that. But in the overall picture, when a woman makes her mind up and know what she wants, you can't. There's nothing you're gonna do, man. So you don't waste your brain, don't waste your energy thinking. And that's where your program you're taught like, oh, I gotta go do this. Maybe if I do that, she'll do that. You don't have to do any of that. You just be yourself. Focus on building yourself and doing you, and that's when you're gonna attract that specific person because you ain't focused on nobody else. Why do I keep seeing babies everywhere? Pregnant woman, and so that means that there's a big manifestation coming for you. Something's about to give birth for you. When you keep seeing babies in pregnancy, something in your life is getting ready to manifest big. If you wanted to manifest a Porsche 911 car, just visualize owning the car because it makes you feel good. Then say, why do I own a Porsche 911? Afterwards, just like having joy. Yeah, exactly. That's right. You can say, how would it make me feel to be the owner of the Porsche, the model, the color, and let it go, and then be open. A good thing to do. I'm going to give you a cheat code for manifesting car, like any kind of car you want. If you want like a luxury or whatever car you want, you go onto your visualize it, then you go up to eBay, and you look up the car, and then where it says watch, you put the watch on it, like so it convinces your mind that you're going to buy the car. Don't put bid now. Don't go buy it now or put the bid price. You're just going to put the watch sign, like boom, and eBay will send you the notifications of the car. But what you're doing is you're telling your subconscious mind that this is what I want. I can afford this. This is part of my budget. So it's opening your mind out to attract the car. That's a good tip for manifesting like cars. I act like I'm driving a Lamborghini while I'm on. Yep, there you go. On forklift at work. Yeah, but the eBay thing is very powerful. If you go to cars and just see the cars they have, and just hit the like, because eBay, when it says watch, your mind is thinking that you're going to get the car. Got it? I don't know, do we need to visualize a certain amount, or should we? You don't have to visualize a certain amount. I always say just visualize the end goal and what your life would look like, and the universe will work out that amount because it knows what it will come up to. I manifested my current Lexus. Woo! You go, Kay. That's what I'm talking about. I want to manifest an electric car. You can do it. Now you have the steps. The chat moving very fast. Yeah, I like the fact too that Alan's visualizing driving a Lamborghini while working on a forklift. Because see, that's see, Alan gets it now. See, your unconscious is illogical. Doesn't care. It doesn't see the forklift. It sees that you have that thing. Is it a good idea to rent a Porsche for a day? Oh yeah, that's even better. Yeah, that's even more powerful. If you could go rent your luxury car and you rent it for a day and drive it, see what that creates an experience. Remember I talk about experience? That's more powerful. Now you have that as an experience, you have that as a memory, your mind is convinced, and then you can just always piggyback and replay that, watch it over, you'll manifest that thing in no time. If you can afford to go rent your car, the luxury car, go do it for a day. A Bentley, a Porsche, whatever you want. McLaren, any car you want, you can rent it. I mean, they're inexpensive. Go rent it for a day, vlog it, and then record it, and then watch it, and then think about it when you go to sleep every night. Remember it. Your mind is going to suppress that as an experience and a memory. In your subconscious, It actually believes that you have the car. So now you don't have the car, it's going to do its best to make sure you get the car. Own it, not renting it every day. One day you're going to be having that very car in your driveway. Does reality exist? That's a interesting question. No, yes and no. So reality exists as nothing. So if we could see what reality is, it would look like space with energies and moving around. Perception exists. A perception creates what we call reality with images and stuff. So there is no reality, only your perception. Your perception gives you the illusion of this world. But the raw data is there is no reality. There's just emptiness of energy. And then we conform and we conjure up that energy to make our life and the world we live in and the things we see. It's all in our mind. It's all within our minds. What would it feel like to experience is the correct way to actually set what we want. Yeah, you can say, what would it look like? How would it make me feel? How different would my life be? Those are the ones. Why is it this? I know I am that. Those are the magic formulas. Mark, are you not tired of visualizing or watching thoughts every day? No, I don't watch thoughts. It's either you can't watch your thoughts or you gotta get into state. You just feel your feelings, guys. You gotta understand. You can't watch your thoughts. It's impossible. It's too much stuff. Start to feel. How you feel will tell you what you're thinking. So just focus on how you're feeling. Your feeling is an indication of what you're thinking. And effective as you can. Thank you. How many more? Yeah, on your mind. That's right. So whose perception is this video? Is it yours watching us or mine watching you? That's a great question. So let's tackle that one. So perception. So let's check this out. So everybody that's watching this video right this moment, even if we're all seeing the same video right now, you all have a different experience right now of the same video. No, none of us is seeing the same thing and thinking the same thing. That's perception. Even though we're all seeing the same thing at the same time, in our mind, there is a different slight perception of what we are seeing. So it is mine, it is yours, it is all of us at the same time, because again, it goes back to what I said, right, Thomas, that everything is one, extending out to the all. Hope that makes sense. Mark, how do you pick lottery numbers? I got to create a whole video for that. But I collapsed them. I made a lot of videos on that. You have to search the channel. You were born rich. Bob Proctor, that's my spiritual grandfather. Yes, Bob Proctor is really good. Very good motivator and knows the subconscious. Mark, I went to the bank and withdrew 2,000. It's at 20,000, 2,000. Then made a vlog and lied in the vlog and said the universe is sending me every day. Now I plan on watching it every day. Will it manifest? Yep, that will manifest. 100% that will manifest. Alan, I'm sure. I think you're referring to me, right? I'm sure he does it because it takes a lot of energy to teach law of attraction, laws of the universe, but it falls with him with love, peace. Yep, that's correct. Thank you. Love watching the videos. I love making the videos. Oh, you could hear the birds chirping. Good. I went and test drove a few cars I wanted. Good. You're implanting that in your subconscious. Bob Proctor says to write down a certain amount that you want. Well, for me, I never wrote down a certain amount, but I could see the premise in that. But you know, it's all. The thing is that you gotta understand that you have a very highly intelligent beyond mind. So I believe your mind knows more of what you want than you know what you want. So I always just my thing is I say my this is my flat. I cut out the middleman. Cut out the middleman. Quality over quantity. Smarter versus harder. So I approach things like, all right, why focus on the amount when I could focus on the lifestyle? I mean, my higher self knows what it takes for me to get that. So that's my view on it. So it just depends on what works for you. But I could see it goes both ways. You can write the amount down, or you can focus on a lifestyle. Either or, I think it works the same. Right? I've been looking for bigger homes online for sale. The more I spend in nature, the more I win. That's right. Always manifest for the highest good of all. Yeah. I manifested my apartment 11 years ago. I manifested my home now. It's coming in. Yep. So you guys get the drift here. That everything is now you know how to get your desires. Are you ready to receive your desires? How to manifest? What is this? Centillions of dollars. That goes into to manifest that. You first of all you got to believe that because you can manifest anything. So do you know what centillions of dollars look like? Do you have evidence to show your mind? So can you find somewhere that shows you evidence of centillions of dollars? Like you can find evidence of billions of dollars. You can look, there's bank accounts with billions of dollars in there. If you can find an account with centillions of dollars, that'll help you even more. But even if you can't find it, if you can visualize it and it's possible, then you can do it. I guess this is Mark. I think he won over $1 million so far, but not sure. Yep, a little bit over that, or it could be more. Who knows? But it's not about me, guys. It's all about you. What's the point of me saying how much I want? What is it going to do? It doesn't prove anything. Mark's already doing his thing, so it's time for you guys to do your thing. All right? Would you say catching feelings is the most important part of manifesting? Yeah, the feeling it, kind of knowing it, the big thing. Mark, how long did it take you to win your lottery? The first one took over a year. The next one's 6 months, 12 months, 4 months, 6 months. Looking to manifest my next home. Every time I'm outside, there's what? A bee flying around me. That's a good sign. Money, abundance is coming to you. What is the anchor channel called? I missed that part. I don't know. The anchor, I think the anchor, guys, again, I don't know about like all this stuff. I mean, Sunny, she's the one that's doing this pot. She does all the technical, but I guess anchor is what plays on like Spotify, or you can go there. So if someone knows, maybe you put in a comment. All I know is it's like Anchor, where you go and you can listen to it on Anchor, and then it's like a separate broadcast, like iTunes or Spotify or another part. It's not YouTube, but I think it's in the description. Maybe someone can clarify to help her to understand. Maybe help me too. I just know about Anchor. How would I go about getting my driver's license back? Visualize. Go in the mirror. Why do I have my driver's license back? How would it make me feel to have my driver's license back? How different would my life be with my driver's license? And mean it. You have to mean it, man. You gotta do it with impression. Have you ever heard of the Powerball winner, Cynthia Stafford? Yeah, Cynthia Stafford. I know Cynthia Stafford. She won that. She put it. That's a clear example. She wrote the exact amount and put it under her pillow, and it came out that way. So you can see Shane Meisler, Cynthia Stafford. Who's the other one there? I did a podcast with him a few months back. He was the youngest guy to win a Powerball in Florida. Timothy Schultz. Yeah, Timothy did it too. Timothy dreamt the 6 numbers, and he won it in like 2 weeks. he was in a trance. If you watch his podcast, go to Timothy show that we did a podcast on that, and he talked about how he won the Powerball. And he's seen the numbers in a dream, and then I think he played them for a couple weeks, and they came out exactly. So look, I mean, you see stuff like that, right? That shows you that reality, there's no reality, only our perception. There's no way people can explain that. Science can't even explain that. Quantum physics is just trying to figure that out now. But how about like with me? These numbers I collapse and they come out when they come out. I see them. How about you? The things you visualize, they come out. Is there scientific? No, there's not. You know, there's just some things right now that's so advanced that it will take centuries, maybe even decades, for the science to catch up to some of the stuff the spiritualists knew, like from thousands of years ago. So the point is, don't try to figure it out. Just know when it works, and keep doing it. So if I went to the bank and withdraw 10,000, make a video about receiving 10,000 every day, I will end up manifesting 10,000. How does this work? 100% you end up manifesting 10,000. It works because your mind, the part of your mind that brings this stuff is illogical. It's not like your regular mind. It doesn't. When you take out 10,000, you have 10,000. You make a vlog. You look at your vlog and say, "Man, I'm so happy I have this. This is what I regularly make." And you do that and you watch it every day. Your subconscious actually believes that. Remember, it doesn't have a filter like your regular mind to decode like right or wrong or logic. It takes that literally. So the first thing it's going to do now, because your thoughts must become congruent with your world. So it says, this is our new life. And if you keep repeating that, it becomes a habit. So that means your mind now will seek out avenues for you to make $10,000. That's how it works. We manifest from our unconscious, and then whatever comes in from our unconscious, we observe it from our conscious. You manifest illogically, and then you observe it logically. You get that, you got the game. Mark, what do you think of UFOs? I mentioned that already in the video. When it uploads, you'll see it. How to get over a twin flame who's playing games? Detach. Let go. Go focus on yourself. Do your thing. If it's meant to be, they'll come back to you. That's the only way to get over that. When you just do your thing and cut them, like just go, they're gonna pick up the energy somewhere down the line, because they're connected to you. If they're your true twin flame, they're gonna pick it up and they're gonna come back to you. That's how you get over. That's how you will get over or manifest anything. With relationships or anything, man. With people, if they're not reciprocating the same feelings that you're reciprocating it back, then you gotta move on. You gotta just focus on, do your thing. Focus on you. Remember, there are about 5 billion people on this planet, man. There's someone out there waiting for you, perfect for you. If you're ready for a relationship, then that's what you do. If you're not ready for a relationship, it's all good too. You know, being alone is really good for you, because you get to learn yourself. And like marriage and stuff, people talk about. I don't know. This is my opinion. Is my belief here, guys. That I believe like the best time to get married is like, I say you gotta be like in your upper 40s, man, or like mid 40s, early 40s, way up there. I believe you get married any younger than that, because I think if you reach those type of age, in the concept, you already kind of know what you want. You kind of figure out yourself. But if you're like young 20s, early 20s and up, I don't think that's the best time to get married, because you don't know yourself, man. Your partner don't know herself. So if you're gonna do marriage, I got married when I was 38. Perfect, like that. Yeah, because it's all about knowing yourself. Like with relationships too. That when you look, when you get a relationship, you're never gonna find a perfect. There is no like so. People say your soulmate. There is no like perfect. There's someone that's compatible, but a relationship is all about matching your energy. What are you compatible with, and are you able to take that person's dislikes more than their likes? That's how you work relations. Because we have this stigma in society, and we have this stigma on social media where you see people, they're like happy couples, and listen guys, all of that is not true. That's not how it works, man. I'm sure many of you experienced that too. It's You have to work on something, you know, like a relationship. Two people are never going to get along. You're going to have differences. Is how tolerable are you of their bad stuff? That determines the compatibility and the matureness of people, you know. And you know, that's why I said relationships. The age thing don't really matter. Don't look at age when you're going to get into a relationship. Don't look at how young or how old. To a point, I mean, what you got to look at is the maturity, the compatibility, and see where that person's mind is at. Because if you try to look at age, you're going to shut out the more opportunity for you to find someone that's really meant for you. So don't look at the age thing. People put like age on a lot of stuff because people mature at different points in their life. So you could have someone that's 23, 21, him or her, and he could be advanced. He could have the mind of a 40 or 38. You could have someone that's 38, 52, have the mind of a 21-year-old. See what I'm showing you? You got to look at like what are you compatible, you know, the maturity and the energy. It's all about that vibe, man. You know, all that stuff, guys, this were made up. This, you gotta remember, everything was invented, man. It was a system created for you. Like the age thing, you're this, you gotta marry someone that's 2 3 years in your gap. You gotta marry someone that, or if you marry someone that's 10 20 years older than you, oh, you're doing all this, you're da da da, you're like blah blah blah. That's all made up and invented, man. And you, let me show you. Check this out. If that was the case, what they put out and show you like this is the way to do it, why isn't it working? Why is half a divorce in 50% of all divorce end within like first 5 years? And why is that, right? It's now, it doesn't work that way, man. That's all made up stuff, man. It's the same people that made up those rules. You're just as smart or you're smarter than them. So you all, anything you're gonna do it from yourself. So if you find someone, you want to meet someone, and if you feel a connection with them, that's all it takes, man. It's a connection. Now, I'm speaking in context now. I'm not saying like, you know, because there's laws here. So if someone that's younger or below the age limit, then that's, yeah, of course. I'm speaking about in general terms of just adulthood here, man. That you don't go into things looking at that. Look for the compatibility and the matureness of two people, and you're gonna work. It's gonna work out a lot better. I think I'm gonna go till 2 hours and 30 minutes into what? Mark, I got married young, divorced, had a child at 22. You into depopulation or something? No, I got married young, divorced, had a child at 22. No, what I'm showing you now, marriage. I'm not speaking about having kids. I'm just speaking about marriage. You know, reproducing is different. I'm speaking about getting with someone that you're not ready to be with, and you waste a part of your life that you know. That's what I'm speaking about. I'm speaking about something to make you prepare for what you want. So if you learn something and you can use it, then that'll help you to become better, right? Experience, they say what they say, experience is the best teacher, right? But how about this? How about I have my friend and I'm there and I watch him put his hands on the stove and get burned. He experienced getting burned. So do I have to go to the stove, put my hands and get burned? I watch him get burned. So now I know what not to do. That's what I'm teaching you. So there's two ways to do it. You can go through it You can go through the fire, put your hands get burned, or you can be the guy, the smart one that watches back and says, okay, not gonna do that. That's the big picture I'm showing you here. Not telling you not to go get married. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that when you're gonna do something, make sure you know yourself. And usually, when you're like real young, the case is you're still discovering yourself. And why is that? Because you're evolving still. Yeah. So this new age stuff, people say what the law of attraction, like spiritual stuff, this information is new age. You're right, Alan. This stuff is 2,000 years old. It's not new age. New age is just a term they use to try to just decredit, make it look like, oh, this is like some new hocus pocus. But this is older than some stuff in the Bible. This actually this is a lot of this stuff is older than the Bible. Did you know that? What if you signed up with someone before you were born? How would that affect your romantic relationship? Yes, now if you signed up with someone before you were born, you will know, guys. You see, the thing about this is, like, whenever you like get into like your relationship with twin flame or anything, you're gonna know that there's something that made you do it. You're not gonna just do it. So you innately know that, okay, this is an experience I have to have. And that's all right, because that was part of your experience. I'm just speaking about gullibility and just generally just jumping into stuff without realizing and getting yourself up for like heartache. That's what I'm putting forth. But there's a difference between signing up for something and just using free will and just jumping into something just because you're like, this is a thing. Why do I dream when I dream? It happened a lot in dream. Who keeps telling me the dream is what? Who keeps telling me the dream? Remember that it is. Dreams are, if you're dreaming of someone in a dream, it's a message. It's usually from yourself to you. So you want to focus more on what the meaning. You know, you can ask your higher self to tell you the dream. You can say, "What? Reveal to me more of what this meaning of this dream is." And you will get the answer to that. When you buy a lotto ticket, will you get a feeling on when to check the ticket? Yeah, sometimes, that happens. Sometimes you can buy a ticket, right? And then you would get this like natural inspired action, and you check the ticket the next day and it's a winner. See, that's a divine planning. I think it was, or you can buy the ticket and you can just let it go. You can sit 2 weeks or a month and you get a feeling. But if you do get a feeling to check your tickets, check it, because usually it's that. Is free will an illusion? It's sort of an illusion, because I always say that, your overall purpose is pre-planned, but how you go achieving your purpose is what we think as free will. Look, I'll break something down before I go. I'm sure something about your reality and how you can be trained in this matrix and you don't even know it. So we talk about free will. So do you know the difference between what free will and choice is? Many of us have choice. We don't have free will. Did you know that? I'll give you an example. The system of the government. They say you can work here or work there. And you say, oh, I got free will. I can go work here. That's not free will. It's a choice. You don't have free will. Someone created two things and said either A or B. Free will is the ability to go wherever, do whatever, and exercise whatever you want without any interference. That is free will. So you got to learn the difference between choice and free will. And the matrix gives you a lot of choice. It doesn't give you free will. So when you're in the matrix, you think you have free will because you say, oh, I can either go here or there. Someone created a choice for you. When you escape the matrix, you know what I mean? Escape the matrix is the mentality of it now, and you understand who you are. You can create for yourself. Now you can have free will, because now you don't have anyone to tell you what to do, how to do it. You can go here or there. Yeah, there are going to be still choices in the matrix because it's set up that way. But but you will have the ability now to exercise what we call it free will. That's something deep you got to think about. So that's to show you how it can just sneak up on you, right? This is how you program you to make you think you have free will. They give you choices and tell you, oh, you're free. You can go here or there. Mm-mm. You didn't free. I'm not free. You just gave me a choice. You invented it. You created that thing. It says pick A or B. If I really had free will, I could go over there and do that, but you don't give me that. See that? Yes, free choices once we are aware of the options, the timelines. We have freedom of will to choose. Only in the nirvana are we fully aware. Are we fully free? That's the best way to put it. That's correct. M said it beautiful. So always remember that, guys, that you want to be open-minded and observe your world, because this is how you get into that state of knowing, by noticing small stuff like that, like people walking around and you see these people and they looking like, oh, I have free will, or I can. No, you don't. You have a choice. They set it up for you to think that. They make you go A or B and you think, oh man, it's so beautiful. You're still trapped in the matrix. You become free once you understand you have the power to create deliberately and no one can affect your destiny. That's freedom. That's when you're free, because now you have a power that comes from a different source. And that's when things work out for you. Like the matrix will actually start to work to help you, believe it or not, because the matrix is part of this. When I talk about matrix, now guys, remember, you can't escape the matrix because you're in the matrix. So what do Mark mean by escape? Mark, what are you talking about? You say you're in the matrix, but yet you can't experience the matrix. So what's happening here? So explain, Mark, what you mean by that. Okay, when you're in the box, because you're physical, you can't see outside the box. You're in the box. Now, what I mean by escape the matrix is I'm speaking about your true self. Your higher self is an extension that can see outside the box. It helps you to navigate in the matrix. It's outside helping you. So even though you're confined in the matrix, you have the ways to move around it, which is beneficial to your higher self, because you're not tied into what I call the tribal mentality of the matrix. So you're not programmed by the matrix. So like you're in the matrix, but you're not affected by the matrix. If that makes sense. That's what I mean by that. So when you understand that, that's when I mean the matrix starts to work for you, because all the things now will start to move into your direction to help you. So freeing the matrix is a mindset. It's a mentality of not following the tribal mentality of the lack, the structure, the limitation, how they program the media, how they put your mind, how they focus on this and that. And you know, no one ever focuses on mental health. Like everything you watch on the social media, you very rarely see things about your mind. Your mind is the power. Everything is vanity. It's just to program you more and more. It's fear based. Those are examples that I'm talking about. So you can start to mind your mind. You free yourself from the prism of the matrix. And that's what I have for today. So what's today? See, I don't even keep track of the time or day. What's today? September 1st, something, right? So I'll continue. I think I'll do these twice a month. I should just be able to do 2 lives. So I'll have 2 lives for you guys. Plus, you're gonna have more on the podcast channel. So that's good. You can go there, podcast. That'll be an hour long. So you got those to go check out. But this video will be uploaded again, and you can rewatch it. And thank you guys so much for showing up, your questions, and you keep going. You guys are doing excellent, manifesting, creating, and just keep doing it. Keep building that momentum, and keep that going. Now I gotta figure out how I get off of here. I haven't done a live in so long. Let's see. Is that how I call? All right. See you.